Imagine this. Secret files locked away in dark government vaults for decades. Documents the public was never meant to see, containing truths that could shake the world. Today, Files Unsealed takes you inside these hidden corners of history, revealing declassified U.S. files that were buried sometimes intentionally, sometimes forgotten. Before we dive deep, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Files Unsealed, because what we uncover today isn't just history, it's the truth that governments tried to hide. From CIA operations to Pentagon experiments to obscure FOIA releases, this video reveals it all. The story begins with the sheer volume of classified documents the U.S. government has accumulated over the years. We're talking millions upon millions of pages covering covert operations, experimental programs, and intelligence reports that were kept from public eyes. Some of these files were eventually released through the Freedom of Information Act, or FOIA, sometimes decades later, and they reveal extraordinary things. You'll read about secret military experiments, psychological operations, and weapons research that many thought belonged only in conspiracy theories. The scale of these programs is staggering. There were operations conducted in deserts, forests, oceans, and even in urban areas, sometimes completely without the public's knowledge. What makes this truly fascinating is the lengths to which agencies went to conceal these facts. Entire reports were classified as top secret, then buried under multiple layers of bureaucracy, ensuring only a select few could ever see them. One of the most famous sets of declassified documents revolves around the CIA's MKUltra program. For years, it was rumored that the CIA experimented with mind control techniques, drugs, and psychological manipulation. When the documents were finally released, they revealed shocking experiments conducted on unwitting participants, often without consent, exploring methods to influence behavior, memory, and perception. These files exposed internal memos, research proposals, and personal accounts of scientists and subjects alike. The public was horrified, but the full extent of MKUltra remained unclear because many files were deliberately destroyed. This illustrates a pattern. Even when documents are declassified, there's always a question of what was intentionally erased. Then there are the Pentagon files on advanced aircraft research. Many of these documents focus on experimental planes, unmanned vehicles, and classified propulsion methods that were once considered impossible. Blueprints, internal memos, and technical reports revealed programs aimed at developing stealth technology long before it became public knowledge. Some declassified papers even discuss unidentified aerial phenomena observed during test flights, radar anomalies, and pilot accounts that hinted objects moving in ways conventional aircraft could not. The Pentagon has since declassified only a fraction of these reports, but they paint a fascinating picture of military innovation intertwined with secrecy. In addition, the NSA and intelligence agencies have released files about surveillance operations, signal intercepts, and international espionage missions during the Cold War. These documents describe how signals intelligence was collected, how counterintelligence efforts were coordinated, and how global operations were executed without public awareness. Some files reveal diplomatic tensions, secret treaties, and covert actions that shaped international relations in ways most citizens never imagined. Files Unsealed examines these files carefully, highlighting the most significant revelations that show how far governments went to maintain secrecy. Not all declassified files reveal clandestine operations or shocking experiments. Some highlight bureaucratic errors, forgotten projects, or early scientific research. But when considered together, they demonstrate the immense scale of government knowledge and the cultural power of secrecy. For instance, there are records on early satellite programs, military satellites designed to monitor foreign nations, along with notes on experimental reconnaissance technology. The public may only hear about modern satellites, but FOIA releases reveal decades of previously hidden experimentation, tracking methods, and testing of technologies that became standard only years later. There are also documents that show the U.S. government's response to UFO sightings, unexplained phenomena, and reports by pilots and radar operators. Though often dismissed as trivial at the time, the declassified files include internal memos, investigation reports, and cross-agency correspondence about objects seen in restricted airspace. Some files reveal repeated encounters, with high-ranking officials taking the matter seriously. Yet the public was given little information. These files, though incomplete, have fueled decades of speculation and serve as proof that some information is buried for a reason, whether political, military, or psychological. A striking pattern in these declassified files is the interplay of experimentation, secrecy, and selective release. Documents are often heavily redacted, leaving gaps in context and encouraging speculation. Entire programs are revealed only partially, with some files missing entirely. This creates an environment where truth is mixed with mystery, and the public is left to wonder what was never released. War Files Unsealed dives into these documents, providing context, analysis, and comparisons that illuminate the stories behind the blacked-out text and shredded pages. Another category involves advanced weapons research. Declassified reports discuss prototypes, testing sites, and internal evaluations for weapons that were never publicly disclosed. From experimental energy devices to chemical tests, some programs were abandoned quietly, while others were hidden from history for decades. Some files even hint at experiments that were morally questionable or politically sensitive, revealing the tension between technological ambition and ethical boundaries. These are the stories that rarely make it into textbooks but are preserved in the newly released archives. Notably, some declassified files show how historians and journalists contributed to uncovering hidden truths. Requests under FOIA often took years or decades to fulfill, but when granted, these files exposed internal deliberations, secret communications, and overlooked events that changed historical interpretations. The process of declassification itself reveals a hidden layer of bureaucracy and intentional delay, demonstrating how the government controls information flow and shapes public perception. The impact of these documents goes beyond historical curiosity. They influenced modern military strategy, intelligence analysis, and even public policy. Researchers use them to understand past operations, improve transparency, and ensure accountability. Some files reveal failures, misjudgments, or miscalculations, offering lessons for future decisions. Others highlight extraordinary technical achievements, showing how much innovation was possible under extreme secrecy. For War Files Unsealed viewers, the takeaways are clear. The U.S. government has a long history of burying information, even as it releases some documents decades later. The declassified files reveal a mix of extraordinary science, secret military operations, intelligence missions, and sometimes morally questionable experiments. They show the tension between secrecy and transparency, and the lengths authorities will go to protect information deemed sensitive or dangerous. Understanding these files helps contextualize modern discussions about transparency, privacy, and the hidden history of war. Ultimately, the most striking lesson from declassified files is how easily history can be buried, altered, or forgotten. What we see today is only part of a much larger puzzle, with missing pages, destroyed files, and redacted content hinting at truths that may never be fully revealed. By exploring these documents, War Files Unsealed helps viewers understand not only what happened but also why secrecy matters and Eden. Knowledge shapes perception, power, and history itself. If you found this video fascinating, share your thoughts in the comments. Which declassified US files shocked you the most? Do you think some secrets should remain hidden, or should all government actions be fully transparent? Comment below, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to War Files Unsealed for more deep dives into hidden history, declassified files, and secret operations the world almost forgot. By commenting and sharing, you help uncover history that was almost lost, and help others learn the truth behind the secrets.